Well, hello, Lindas. How are you? It's Quarantine Classics Saturday night, the show that, with the title that wasn't very well thought out. But here we are. We're gonna watch some things. We're not gonna watch videos. Well, we'll watch some videos.
Yeah, this is the spinoff from VCR Party, which is a spinoff from Found Footage Festival, our live touring show. And this one, we mostly show terrible photos of ourselves and ones that you send in, but we also do some other things. I wanted to start with a video that I was just reminded of this because on Thursday, for our Patreon backers at the $10 and up level, we watched part 1 of Stairway to Stardom. I guess it was part 2 of our DVD set of Stairway to Stardom.
3-part set. We watched part 2.
Yeah,
those are the ones we're most excited about.
Right. So, and our buddy Mitch put this together. It's a collection of public access clips from the long-running New York City public access show Stairway to Stardom, which is a variety show, kind of a talent show. And this was an actress named Precious who was doing a monologue, I guess, to get discovered, right? George,
while we're playing this, can you look up what this monologue is from? It seems like it's probably from a famous play or something.
Sure.
All right, here's Precious on Stairway to Stardom.
And sometimes he was cinnamon. And when he was cinnamon when I hugged him. And he was always equal parts you and me. That's why I loved him and wanted him. Because he was the love of the hutch embodied. And now the thought of that child curdles me.
It's good.
And
I wonder if she wrote this herself.
Oh Lord! I only thank the benevolent God for being wiser than me. Because if a son existed now, I swear, I'd bash his brains against the goddamn radiator!
Chops.
And cut.
That was beautiful, Precious.
Okay, Tony.
There we go.
Yes, that was beautiful, Precious.
It's from a play called The Gingham Dog. And
I knew it.
Okay.
Her name is Precious Taft.
Oh.
Yes, Precious Taft, yes.
Precious Taft. Yeah, let's look her up. George, you want to get on that?
I will look for her, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're doing parts 1 and 3 on our future, on next week's and the week after's EP mode episodes on Thursday. So if we could have a special guest for one of those, that would be great.
Did you guys notice that I'm sitting a little differently than usual today?
No.
Somebody yelled at me on YouTube about how I always keep it on my lap, and people get seasick.
Looking up your nose or something.
Well, there's that factor, but then it's also like whenever I move, like I shift. So I set up some things here, and it's just I kind of feel a little off. You know?
Yeah.
It kind of feels a little off, like when I didn't drink for that one episode. Just it kind of felt off.
Go ahead and put it on your lap. It'd be better for the show. I don't want to throw off your groove.
No, I want to please the people. I'm a people pleaser.
Well, the other big segment that's taken the world by storm is something called "Show Us Your Plunketts." Is that what we're on to next?
Yeah, let's show them their Plunketts.
Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett had never known failure until now.
It's Steve with Jim Plunkett.
Let's recap where we're at now. Let's do the top 3 seeds here, just so we could see where we currently stand. We had one usurpation this week. There's one usurpation. You guys know what the word usurp means, right?
Yes, hostily take over.
Yep. All right. So in week 1 of Quarantine Classics, this photo of me ironically wearing a shithead hat, but unironically sleeping, was number 3. Then that got usurped by this one, Emily, I believe.
Yeah, Emily with the gingerbread creation.
And an enormous sweatshirt. Got usurped by Drucker with the backwards right hand.
I wonder if he might re-usurp at one point, because that one just keeps...
Oh, re-usurption.
Yeah.
Can that happen?
Yeah, that's a word.
Re-usurption?
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know.
No, can that happen? Can there be a re-usurption?
Sure, you can change your standards over time.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Then that got usurped by
Grubchild. What she called herself. We didn't call her.
Yeah, that's not our thing. Yeah. Then that got usurped by the Star Wars Kid Part 2.
Yep.
Yep. And then, but big news, new usurpation this week. There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
What's her name?
Merrily.
Merrily. Yeah. Who's Grubchild like? You know, it seems like a young Grubchild.
In a way, yeah.
Well, it shows she's being absorbed by Santa's beard, which is how he gets his powers.
It also,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It also looks like she's like super glued to him.
Yeah.
You know, they're like
together.
trying to get each other apart from each other.
They're conjoined at Santa's beard.
Yeah. Siamese Santas.
Well, we'll see if somebody usurps this week. Who knows?
Okay, then at number 2, we had Nick.
Yeah.
Classic Red Robin picture, thumbs up. And then that got usurped 2 weeks ago by Nick Stevens' picture with his dad Saddam Hussein and his brother mid sneeze. So, and then of course number 1, Hold Strong, not going anywhere. We got
a lot of people on the message boards really feel like number 2 should be number 1.
Really?
Okay. We'll see if things shake up. But I mean, you were there with your hero. That adds a level of stakes to this.
And it's defined as a Plunkett. So Jim Plunkett has to be in it.
Just tell me what the people say.
The thing is, if it does get usurped, we're going to have to change the name from Plunketts to whatever.
Hussein's.
Let's say
Hussein's.
Yeah, that opens up a whole new can of Hussein's.
Let's say that Grubchild takes number 1, usurps it somehow. Then show us your Grubchilds.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. Yeah, it's
right.
I believe it's Grubchildren. But
well, you've coined the phrase. I feel like we ought to stick with it.
Okay.
Hey, before we dive into our Plunketts, can we please just play a quick round of Which Thumb is Steve? Got
Absolutely,
a good one here.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
By the way, I had an idea for a future game show where there's 3 different thumbs, and you have to figure out which one is Steve.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
I know. So Steve looks like a thumb in the picture of him with Jim Plunkett. So we're going to see if we can tell the difference between.
Just let me be the host of this, Nick. You don't have to be the host for everything. Let me be the host for it, Nick.
Okay,
are you ready?
You have the floor.
Can I go? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. All right. It is time for Which Thumb is Steve, and this is the game where I will show you pictures of 2 different thumbs. One of them is Steve, and you have to tell me which thumb is Steve. Here is the first thumb. There's your first thumb, okay? Give it a good look. Take a good look. All right, here's your second thumb. Okay. We have 2 thumbs here. The one on the left is a thumb, the one on the right is a thumb. Nick, which thumb is Steve?
This is the toughest one yet because I know Steve really likes Boston teams, sports teams.
Yeah.
He's from the area.
Yeah.
Looks like he had a bit of stubble going on the left. I'm going to say the left.
Okay. Oh, and just to recap, Nick, I think you're 0-2 so far. George, you're 0-2. Steve, I think you're 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Steve's in the lead for this game. So Nick, you said on the left that thumb is Steve. All right, George?
Okay, so a couple things here. One, I recognize the face on the left as being similar to like 3 drawings of Alf, which would suggest it's well, okay, it's the lanyard. Right is Steve. I always look for the lanyard. Yeah.
Okay, and Steve, which one? This is usually easier.
That's a good tip.
I'm gonna go left. That Boston hat, I remember buying it. I remember being at Fenway Park. I am definitely gonna go to one of them.
All right, George, congratulations. You are Which Thumb is Steve? All right.
Wow, it's tough.
Oh, that was a tough one.
But I know I got a good tip, which is that he's looking for a lanyard. So if next week both thumbs have lanyards, all bets are off.
Steve's a lanyard man.
I'm going on to Google Images immediately after typing in lanyard.
Lanyard thumb.
I got my Saturday planned.
Yeah, that seemed like a toe more than a thumb, by the way. Steve is looking a little bit more like a toe.
Well, Google Images said thumb. So I'm just going by. They wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah. Well, Steve, since you've got the floor, why don't you show us your Plunketts this week?
All right. Hold on one moment. Let me get them. All right. So I got 3 for you. By the way, Juna thinks that my Plunketts are not Plunkett worthy. So I feel as though I'm horrified by all these pictures, but
but compared to the ultimate Plunkett, they all look fine.
Yeah.
Is that what it's saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Side by side.
All right. I don't think I've showed this one before, but here's the first one. Now, I always have, this is going to be a recurring theme with me, is where anytime that the belly is really, or my man boobs are coming out, like those are going to definitely get fast forwarded to the Plunkett.
Do you know that kid or no?
I do. It's my nephew, and I felt like he's also, this could qualify as a Plunkett for him. Now, he is 20 or 21. I don't even know. I have to do math. He's 20.
Yeah, man boobs is an automatic Plunkett.
Yeah, and then I always have trouble with my hair, and there was one time where I decided I wasn't going to put any product in it. It's very stringy for lack of a term. Yeah, so I'm just having trouble. Yeah. So that's one.
It looks like you just got off of a 3-day bender, and then you had to go see your nephew.
Yeah.
I think Steve is perpetually getting off a 3-day bender.
Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point.
You had a hot cup of coffee, but another sports related.
This is from the same day.
This is from the same day. I just wanted to show you it wasn't just a bad angle. It was. It's
wow.
He is. I'm trying.
Whoa! You gave away.
Things are going horribly awry here.
Zoom, go low.
Oh yeah.
I want to see those pants. Look at those pants.
Yeah, too long.
Well, I buy whatever on sale that fits around my waist, and whatever the length is, then that's what I was, stuck with.
Yeah,
so
I've been
I just
there.
eventually would wear them through.
So you don't take it to a tailor then, huh? You didn't take it to a tailor.
No.
And you're about to meet your hero, and you didn't even go to a tailor?
If I had known. If I had only known.
Your friend looks like he's kind of Plunketty there, too. I'm wondering how the lighting is affecting chins in this situation.
Yeah, I think that's definitely lighting. He's but I feel like it's not nearly as bad as me.
And that's true.
that's the second time, so it wasn't just hey, it was a bad photo.
And look at you doubling up on bevs in your left hand.
I mean, do you know me?
Double bev holder.
I always have bevs, always. So double, tripling, quadrupling.
But your right hand is totally free, and you could be holding a bev with that. But
you never know there might be another bev that I need to grab with that hand. So keep two there. Another bev comes along. Boom! I got it.
It is nice though to get a picture in front of the logo of your favorite sports cable channel. I'm glad you have that.
What a couple of fucking dorks! Dorks. Let's get our pictures by the ESPN.
And then here's the last one. This was
your hair looks damp.
No, it wasn't at all. Just scraggly. And there was a pirate themed party. And this guy was really, really dressed up for it. So I decided to have my photo taken with him.
That's a good costume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the pirates.
Love what I was doing with my hair then. So those are my 3 Plunketts.
Wow. Judah, you're wrong. Those are definitely Plunketts.
Those are Plunketts. Those are absolutely Plunketts. You're not. I'm not gonna say you're the Plunkett king. Nick is the Plunkett king, but you're the Plunkett master. I'll say that.
I just can't wait till I get some of my old photo albums. They're all in Los Angeles, and then I can show you young Steve Lawrence. These are all past 10 years or something like that. So
I'll go next because I'm my Plunketts suck now. I blew my load a long time ago. It's most of these are like ironic Plunketts, but I still look unattractive. Like Nick, like whenever we go to a gas station, we'll put on the funny clothes and we'll try to look funny. So there's, I'm trying to look funny there.
But I think it's respectful to Indigenous people, and it's a real well-reasoned.
The child's Indian headdress. Yeah. All right, so that's one Plunkett. Next up, I forgot what I did here. Oh yeah, that's another Plunkett. See, I'm trying to look funny, but it's like, but it's just not flattering at all.
Right.
Then here's another Plunkett. This is from last summer, actually, and I'm being ironic. I'm wearing an ironic shirt, and I put my hat on backwards ironically, and I'm drinking a White Claw. That wasn't so ironic. I enjoy White Claws. But then the stomach, there's nothing ironic about the stomach at all.
No. Who are you, Saddam Hussein? That's a weird-looking belly button over there.
I know, exactly. Like, the older I get and the fatter I get, the more my belly button pulls this way. I guess it makes sense, right? It's just, biology and physics together, right?
Yeah.
So
I thought I recognized that T-shirt from the arcade. Is that
Which
what
one?
the guy was wearing in the
It was
arcade?
the Budweiser. Yeah, he was wearing
yeah.
a half shirt though. Joe's is more of
I
a
got it.
Yeah,
Buttoned
yeah.
up. Now I
Button up.
understand.
yeah, it's the Budweiser. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after this, Scrappy Rat got in touch with us, and I know, Nick, you're going to show some one Plunketts later, but I wanted to show this one because she said, "Can there be animal Plunketts?" And she sent a bad picture of her cat, and I was like, "Yes, there absolutely can." I have some terrible photos of my cats, and yeah, it's like, so I'm gonna make a call out there for people to send in animal Plunketts. Like pictures.
I'm sensing a spin-off show here.
Pictures where your
Sunday
animals,
nights.
where your animals look like shit. You know?
Yeah.
Because occasionally they do. So I have a couple animal Plunketts here. This is my cat Twinkie. Fell asleep. Whenever she falls asleep, she looks like roadkill. Like she looks like she looks dead.
Somebody pick her up with a shovel, put her in the truck.
And I wanted to put a piece of paper on her tongue. I thought that would have been funny, but she woke up immediately.
Reserved for friends and wives.
Yeah, and then this is the when they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
This last one is my cat. What's his name?
Munch?
Munchie. And it's not so much a Plunkett. I think he actually looks great in it, but he was sitting like this, and his penis was out.
Ah.
You see that?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
His little balls.
Yep.
This is like before he got fixed. Kind of looks like a picture from like a 1970s Playgirl too, doesn't it?
Well, every picture I have of Marty is like this, so.
Yeah, I know, but like cats' dicks you don't usually get to see.
That's true. You bring up a great point.
Those are my Plunketts.
Okay. Those are good. I like animal Plunketts. I feel like Dave Coulier could host that on Sunday night.
Oh, yes, animal Plunketts. Show us your animal Plunkett.
Show us your cat's penises.
I think it'd be hosted by Jim Plunkett.
Oh, yeah. Let's get him. Okay, George, what do you got for Plunketts?
All right. So I'm going to start off with, remember last week, Joe showed us a couple pictures.
Yeah.
This one and this one. And I said it reminded me of something from a past VCR party, and I realized it was Whiskers the cat with a magical attitude.
Oh,
I would not have guessed that.
Do you see?
I think I see it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
you put a cigarette in there. I mean, I'm not wearing glasses or a tie.
Yeah, that sort of devil may care attitude that both you and Whiskers
it's a magical
and Whiskers
attitude.
isn't smoking, but I can see it.
He's smoking.
He's smoking cool.
Yeah, so then I found, you remember last week, Mr. Sprinkles. I found some Plunketts of Mr. Sprinkles from over the course of American history. Here's during the Dust Bowl.
A classic, National Geographic. Yeah, I remember that one.
In 63, this is Mr. Sprinkles getting shot by Jack Ruby.
Oh, no. He's in pain.
And then finally at Studio 54, this is Mr. Sprinkles naked bringing in Bianca Jagger on a horse during a crazy party.
He was just everywhere.
And he could walk, too. That's the thing that I didn't know. I thought he always had to have assistants. Like, they had to have a...
Well, you can't really see the hindquarters. It's a long story. But anyhow, so this is a photo a coworker took of me in 2007 where I was... I guess I pose a lot for pictures, and sometimes... It happened last week that people try to, like, get a picture of me without me knowing. And so they say, look up, and then this happens.
You got a little David Hawkins going on that bottom lip.
Yeah, that's...
You got a little David Hawkins.
David Hawkins on the bottom, the crow in the hair area a little bit.
Yeah, it just full-on creep, though. Just always a creep.
So this is me at Star Wars Celebration 2015 when I was working, and I tried to take a goofy photo with Jar Jar Binks, but it's much worse than I was expecting.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that can happen.
Also, Jar Jar Binks paints his fingernails?
It was. I think this was a goth phase for Jar Jar Binks because of the blowback. And then finally, this was at a funeral. Somebody put their hat on me and took a photo, and later sent it to me.
At a
lighter side.
Funeral Plunkett's a new again,
funeral
but not a good picture.
A little blurry. Yeah. All right, you have not run out yet, and Mr. Sprinkles. Well, I hope we can hear from him later. Here's
Will we hear from Mr. Sprinkles today?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Here's some Plunketts here. This is
the king. It's time for the king.
Move
He's
over.
starting strong. He is starting strong.
Yeah, this is in my basement for Christmas. I got a two things from, I believe, the Wireless catalog, which is for fans of public radio. So that is an MC Escher drawing, and you never want the bulbous figures to match your body shape on a sweatshirt. That's what I learned. And those boxer shorts, they glowed in the dark. So pretty great outfit.
Okay, cool.
And then this is what I realized was where the Red Robin pose started, because this was, I believe, a very similar pose to Red Robin.
Wow.
I think I had just gotten a camera and was testing it out and started taking a picture of myself, but from a terrible angle.
Yeah, that's
it's like a
Red
Kodak
Robin.
disc sort of quality.
Yeah.
The Kodak disc.
Yes,
Or it's like that, the disposable kind of.
Yeah,
ones.
I think it was like that. And I think this is where I was starting to get facial hair and but wasn't shaving yet, or so it was kind of coming in weird. And I don't even remember what this last one was. Oh yes, I told the story on Thursday's show about on Thursday's EP mode about auditioning for the game show Putting on the Hits, which was a lip syncing game show, and they had auditions at the Easttown Mall. So I wrangled up my friend Andy Martin and Kim and Jenny to do the Weird Al song "Got a Boogie." And
which one is you? I don't even know which
Far
one.
right?
Right
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's me. A little too convincing.
You're
I think.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And see, it was funny because I was dressing up like a girl, so that's part of the comedy there.
Yeah.
And you had the breasts and everything, like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little too convincing. It wasn't like, ha ha ha, he's got a mustache and he's wearing lipstick. No, it was like, yeah, I guess that's just a girl going through an awkward phase. I think I told this on Thursday, but just for people who aren't $10 patrons, I was so convinced 3 hours after the auditions, they said, you're gonna get a call from the producer if you get in. And I waited by my parents' phone and never got a call. So I actually called. I had gotten a card of the guy, and he said, no, you didn't get it. You weren't selected to go into the next round. And I was heartbroken, crestfallen about that.
Do you want to track that guy? Do you still have the guy's phone number, or do you remember who the guy was?
Yeah. Let me look at my wallet.
Because maybe we could get him on the phone and say, what did Nick do wrong? Like,
what can we do better next time?
Exactly. Yeah.
You could also ask Mr. Sprinkles. I know he was at that very very contest. So Mr. Sprinkles could
I'd
tell
like to hear his constructive criticism of
because
that.
you remember I told the story about vomiting on the guy that I tandem parachuted with.
Yeah.
I've tracked down his name. I found his name.
Oh.
I called the company because I want to have a conversation with him about
see if he remembers it.
15 years later.
Yeah.
See if he remembers me 20 years later vomiting on him. And I bet he does.
I would think so. It's got to be traumatic.
If you got vomited on, you'd remember it. So I'm going to track him down. So.
Well, we also have the Melindas. Our viewers have sent in some of their Plunketts. I got a big batch, so I might have to rush through some of these, but I think we have like some possible new categories for Plunketts as well, in addition to animals. First of all, last week we showed Matt, who saw Cinderella at the band Cinderella walking through the Denver airport, and he asked an old man who had never worked a camera to take a picture. So that's the old man's finger in the bottom right, and kind of Cinderella who just wants to get to Phoenix or whatever, and they're.
Do you think the old man recognized Cinderella? Do you think it's like, oh, it's Cinderella?
No.
No? Okay.
No. But so he gave us a follow-up on that story because we asked, he said that he had jury duty with Tom Kiefer, and we asked him, like, what was it? Was it a murder trial? And he said, neither of us were selected to sit on the jury, but the trial was for murder. I talked to him after it was over. I can't imagine being comfortable with someone asking him questions throughout the day. I figured I made him uncomfortable once in the airport. I just asked him if he had new music coming out. Really nice guy. So he didn't end up telling him that he once took a Plunkett with him in the airport. However, he said, I have another one taken with a band. This is with Bret Michaels. And this is it's
Dee Snider.
It's Dee Snider.
He says it was Bret Michaels, but it's Dee Snider?
Well, he said,
it is Dee Snider. You're right. Yeah, it's Dee Snider. Yeah.
I'll send you some Batman cereal, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, just put it in the mail. Oh, right. He was backstage at a Bret Michaels show, and then Dee Snider was opening, and he ran into him right after his set and snapped this photo. So Dee doesn't look great, and neither does he. And he says he does have one with Bret Michaels. That's why I was confused. So in a future installment, we might get Matt with another
Rock and Roll Plunkett.
Rock and Roll Plunkett.
So that's the new one is Rock and Roll Plunketts.
Yeah. This is Karen. This is a triple Plunkett. Because this is with her husband.
This is a lot like Nick Stevens. Like this is the Saddam Hussein picture.
Yeah, and I also like this. I believe that was caffeine-free Diet Pepsi in the gold can.
Oh yeah, none of the good stuff in that Pepsi.
Yeah. So yeah, not good. And it also
even the Pepsi looks bad.
Oh, everybody, and then it's his, and then his arms behind.
Yeah, it looks like he has one arm, and I don't know whose mother that is, but she's like mid-walk. She doesn't want to be there. She's walking off.
She's delivering an envelope somewhere. Yeah. And then in the background, you got that like that horse harness or something. That horse harness. Oh yeah, the wallpaper too. But then there's like
a lot of details to focus in on.
Yeah, it looks like every estate sale I've ever been to.
This is Carla's husband on the left. He doesn't look terrible, but she said he's like kind of a cool like VHS collector guy, really into like that kind of stuff, and he's just wearing a Yankees hat and a chain and some kind of like normie outfit there with his shirt, and I believe that's his dad wearing advertising for Spalding there.
His dad is sponsored by Spalding.
Yeah.
I thought that was Martin Landau.
I could see it. Jackson just sent this one in. Jackson's from Madison. He said he's wearing an fitted Brewers cap. And he has
I'm not a fan of the floppy hats. Those floppy hats they go over the shape of your head and they just make you look like Charlie Brown.
Oh, I like those, but I just feel like that one didn't fit. It was a little too tight on him. And he's got his stubble kind of accentuates a little bit below his chin. He's got a sucker in his mouth.
Well, I'd like to point out his neck hair. I mean, look at the back of his neck hair. I mean,
I didn't notice that.
That fuzz on the back.
Yes.
I just want to just swipe it just delicately.
Yeah, could really use a trim there.
Yeah, go in on that. Close in.
Yeah, that's some
make it look like it's worthwhile here.
Yeah, that's some serious neck hair.
Yeah, and then we got some chin action too. And
Yeah, that's a buzzer beater. He just sent that before we started taping. So thank you, Jackson.
Plunkett all the way.
Okay, here's what Steve calls this a hat trick. And because he says he kind of always makes the unintentional face while in photographs. So he sent 3. His posture's weird. His face is a little weird. His eyes are closed. This one, kind of looking up a little bit. I don't know what the context of that was. Sunglasses.
Yeah, not a good picture.
With croquis.
With a flash too. Flash never helps. Ooh.
These are almost identical poses.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Times Square. So that's a hat trick. That's 3 in a row.
That's pretty good.
So what did he say? He said that he always makes that face intentionally or unintentionally?
I don't think it's intentional.
Okay.
I think this is just kind of his natural pose when a photo is being taken.
Yeah, I have trouble with smiling.
1960s. He says this is his dad and his aunt, and look at the dog. The dog's a little bit of a Plunkett too.
Oh, that's
this
is pick. Yeah,
this has got everything you want in it.
Plunkett pets. That's what we'll call them.
Plunkett pets. This is Ivan. I don't think he was intentionally doing this, but he looks like a real creep here.
Oh yeah.
This is Megan with a box of donuts for a special occasion. And not flattering lighting for Megan there.
Yeah, angle, framing, all that. Oh boy.
Josh Jones.
Oh, I think we might have some usurpation here.
Yeah, well, he explained that he had a big test or something in high school. So his friend gave him like basically speed to stay up the night before. And then there's photos the next day, but he was crashing by the time the photos were taking place. So, and he's wearing like the Kermit wearing CK jeans, I believe.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one, Josh Jones. Jess sent this one. She says she has no idea what's going on in this picture, but everybody's very shiny. And Jess is wearing a lot of denim on denim. Good Plunkett there.
That is. Yeah.
And also you can see the walls. There's some marks on the walls.
Yeah, they're kind of filthy. And nobody was ready for that picture.
No.
And the framing's terrible. Yeah.
This is a Nate Couch. This is taken out of Walmart studio. He's kind of wearing a cool dragon shirt with a goatee.
And also, like the collar is just kind of just off to the side, like
Yeah,
that, too.
yeah. That's a great one, Nate. Aaron sent this one. I think this was a tailgating somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but I don't think she was ready for this picture.
How can you not be ready for your own selfie?
I don't
you're
know.
Hitting the button yourself.
Aaron, let us know. This is Christian. This is his 30th birthday in Mexico, and just not a good look here.
No, there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah,
Like, it's supposed to be a happy day. It's his birthday, and there's the cake. He's about to blow out
looks
his
miserable.
candle. He just wants to die.
And it kind of looks like in Mr. Mom, he's wearing this flannel that he wears the same shirt every day. It's just kind of a well-worn, rumpled.
Instead of happy birthday, they sang, "This is the end."
Yeah, exactly.
My
Looks like he's about to go to the beach with Steve's nephew. This was sent in by some people from England, Rachel and Shane. They weren't married at the time, and then the person they're no longer friends with on the right there, but at some kind of outdoor music festival. Not terrible, but not great.
I think they look cool as hell because they're like, because they're like British, right? Are they British?
I think so. Either that or they were in England at the time for this festival. I don't know.
They look like the young Rolling Stones or something to me. Yeah, that's
not bad.
Yeah. I want to know the story about why they're not friends with that person anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, so I feel like I told Andrew I want to take this Redskins jersey and put it in the rafters of the Plunkett Hall of Fame because he's got a series that I'm going to show you here of terrible photos.
That's a really bad one.
He's got NASCAR pictures. He's got a Universal Studios bag he's carrying, and he's itching his eye.
And then his mouth's opening because he's doing the eye itch.
Yep.
And then
exactly.
somebody took the picture right then.
Here's more of Andrew. His head is turned while they're taking a family photo here. He's turned away. And I'm sure I think that's his sister. Not great pose there.
Yeah.
Parents look fine. Although, no, his dad's tie is yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
Needs a tie clip because it's coming off the... Yep.
All right. More Andrew. This is medieval times. And this is toddler Andrew. And I was curious. I was like, what is your dad's shirt? Because you can kind of see it there. It looks like a cartoon and then B-O.
Rambo or something?
So he got back to me and... what did he say? Yeah, he said
Elmer Fudd, right?
Elmer Fudd. It was Elmer Fudd, but it says Rambo on it.
No, it says Wambo.
Wambo. Yeah, Elmer Fudd, Wambo. Thank you. I forgot. I wrote it down and then I forgot. So yeah, that's Wambo.
I think his dad's the real Plunkett in this one because look at his shorts and look at his fanny pack.
Yeah.
You can see his high socks too.
Oh, he could be more of like a 90s dad there if he tried.
Yeah, he's not very medieval.
Ooh.
All right, here's another one of Andrew with a guy dressed as Popeye.
Oh, celebrity sighting.
Yeah. Yep, costumed Popeye. And he's got kind of a weird pose with his belt there. Andrew does.
Yeah, something's going on there. Oh,
here's Andrew, I think probably with a grandfather or something, dressed like a clown. And I mean, this batch of Plunketts is one of the strongest batches I've seen.
Yeah,
wow, he's really knocking it out of the park here, and this is going to haunt everybody who's seen this picture. This is going to haunt everybody forever.
It looks like it was cut out and put in a photo album too, which adds a little bit.
There's so many weird things about it. There's like a hand up at the top, but what is that? Like, is it a collage? And then
that's I think probably from the photo above it in the album.
And he's wearing the same outfit that Saddam Hussein wore in the Nick Stevens photo.
Yes, that's true. All right, here's a theme though of costume Plunketts. Here's another one of Joe. I don't think it's a terrible photo, but any sort of time there's a clown in a picture.
Clown child. There's
sad clown child
but
too.
The reason I included this was Joe said, "Hey, I drove by your mom during the Sit in My Parade and did a reverse wave." And he said, "What was your dad doing in the bushes?" So here's the photo that they took of my mom waving from the parade. It was raining out. And look at my dad hiding in a bush. And I guess he asked them to come back and then asked them questions or something. So
what? Is he hiding on purpose?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's raining, so he's trying to be under an awning.
But he has a huge red and white umbrella.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in fairness, I did ask my dad. I said, "Hey, if people drive by, get some pictures of it." So, but I just don't know why he was hiding behind a bush. It's just a weird picture.
That's so great.
Are those Confederate flags behind your mom? What are those?
Yeah, those are the rebel flag.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the Norwegian flag for Norwegian Constitution Day. Okay, this is an interesting one. This
So
is
many people into Plunkett.
Jessica Hart sent this, and she said that she's a 15-year-old girl in this picture.
Oh, wow.
But her dad was trying to get into special effects and makeup, and so she was the guinea pig for it. And he never ended up going into it, but I guess he's a big fan of ours and still dabbles in this a little bit.
I think
That's great.
that's why it would be fun to have a kid, is because you could mess around with them like that and be like, hey, I want to get into makeup now.
Yeah.
Subject.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be fun to. Yeah.
You hear that, George? Get on it.
Yeah.
Have a kid?
Yeah.
Lastly, this is so I mentioned, I think I showed a picture of this on a VCR party where I have a Google alert set for vintage elf costume. Every once in a while something new comes up, and this came up I think yesterday, and then somebody got in touch. Samuel Farmer got in touch and said, that's me, that's my photo. He watches our show, and this randomly came up as a search. So another sort of costume Plunkett. I think that might be another
I think this is just you shoehorning in an elf into a place, because we have a corner for elf.
I know, but this is a costume Plunkett. That's the Plunkett. Look at the outfit. He's holding a pumpkin flashlight. I mean, to me, that's a Plunkett.
I agree.
You think that's a Plunkett? That's a mask.
Well, the mask's way too big for the body.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But look at the costume. It's
it's
a gunny sack. Yeah.
Okay, costume
Right.
Plunketts. I'll accept it.
All right, and I believe that's all for Show Us Your Plunketts.
Yep. There we go.
That was a good round today.
A lot to catch up on.
Great
Well,
job.
honestly, like every time I go back to my email, there's like 7 new Plunketts in the inbox. So,
Well, and you can send them to us at info@foundfootagefest.com. Let's keep those Plunketts
and
coming.
please do. This is my favorite segment of all. So, Nick, is Caitlin there? Is Caitlin?
No,
online?
I don't see her.
You see her as a participant?
I don't yet. No.
Oh shit. Okay.
No.
Let me. Oh wait. She said send me the link. All right. I emailed it to her.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me.
Hey, while you do that, let me share that we announced on Tuesday we're doing our very first live found footage show. We call it Found Footage Festival's Big Bad Webinar on Friday, June 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be a huge show for us. We sold out within minutes of putting it on sale on Tuesday. We capped it at 100 people, but we didn't want people to feel left out, so we upped it to 500 people. So, and I believe it's about half sold out now. So before we advertise this with media and get press to cover it and all that, we are putting out another call for any people watching the show. If you want to join us, go to foundfootagefest.com, look for a little ad. It says Found Footage Festival's Big Bad Webinar. Click on that, and you can register for the Zoom thing. It's just $7. It's going to be, I don't want to give it away yet, but we have confirmed that the biggest guest in the history of the Found Footage Festival will be with us live for that show. So join us. It's going to be fun. George and Steve will be there. A bunch of celebrity guests. We got a musical section and tons of videos.
Were our heads superimposed over those tie pictures, or did we take those tie pictures? Okay.
Yes, those definitely were. I've never worn that outfit in my life.
I don't remember that picture at all, but it was good photoshopping.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, I just sent it to Caitlin, and she should be.
Why don't you introduce the segment?
Well, let me just let's start off with a graphic. How about?
Okay.
It's the Toe-Tapper Toenament in 2020. Tony. I'm trying to work in 2020 as Tony, but it doesn't really work. Anyway, this is the game where we determine which is the best song on VCR Party, on the Found Footage Festival, in our entire library. We're doing a Sweet 16 bracket tournament, and we have 2 divisions. Let me bring up the tournament bracket here.
Caitlin's here. I'll bring her up right after the explanation.
Okay, so we have the commercial division, and we also have the VHS division. So last week, in the commercial division, Springer Mountain Chicken upset Dr. Tammy to move on to the Final Four. This week, Nick's, I want to keep these as a surprise. I don't want people to see what's coming up. So
yeah. But it's the VHS division, so.
This is the VHS division this week. And so next week, George or Steve will do theirs, and then we'll have the final four 4 weeks from now, because we need sports.
And these are all songs you can tap your toe to, and that's why we call it the Toe-Tapping Toenament. And we're going to bring in our special guest judge, Caitlin Cook, who is a musician, comedian, and all-around great person.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
And, you know what? Also, is she there? There she is.
Hey!
Caitlin!
Hi, Caitlin!
Welcome back.
Good. How are you guys?
You're good. You ready to do some judging?
Yes.
How do you, now that you've had a week to sit with it, are you pleased with your decision to go with Springer Mountain Chicken as the winner, beating Dr. Tammy Bailey? Do you stand by it?
I am, but Dr. Tammy Bailey has been stuck in my head more.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Well, okay. Well, before we get started, Caitlin sent over some Plunketts. That she sent.
Great.
Yeah. She sent over a couple Plunketts. We call them Plunketts because Steve got a picture taken with Jim Plunkett. He looks terrible in it. So, okay. I think that was a good explanation, right?
It was, yeah.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Jim Plunkett was a quarterback for the New England Patriots.
I like leaving explanations to Nick. All right.
We yell at him when he uses it.
Here's your first Plunkett. And I don't think it's that bad, but they did catch you in a bad, like, ooh.
Yeah, I love show photos where I'm like, why this one? Why did you post this one?
But now your next one, I think your next one is a true Plunkett. The second one you sent me. This is as Plunketty as they come right here. Because I think it's a sleeping Plunkett.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that's you can almost see the drool.
Very drunk asleep at Adam Caton Holland's house in Denver, and Sean took a photo.
With a flash too. It looks flashes are always really flattering. They always really help photos. So nice.
Yeah, wow, that is a good Plunkett. Thank you.
Now,
go ahead, Joe.
Well, I was going to say I asked you yesterday if you could, because you play guitar and you sing funny songs. I was wondering if you could learn Dr. Tammy Bailey. Were you able to do it? Were you able to?
I did on piano, actually.
Oh, you did on piano?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Oh, that's
now?
what you're in front of. I didn't realize what. Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 guitars up there.
Whoa.
And the piano here.
Are you in a Guitar Center right now? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working for my part.
All right, let's hear it. Dr. Tammy Bailey, Dentistry.
Right. Let's do it. Tammy Bailey, Dentistry, making every smile count.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was, you sounded like Otis there. That was a regular
I know,
Otis.
I had to do it in the original key. So.
Yeah, nice.
So this week it's my division, Caitlin, and we're going to be playing 1-minute clips from different VHS tapes that we've played throughout our Found Footage Festival shows throughout the years. So let me play the first one.
Okay, so the first one, oh yeah, okay, you're just going to do it that way. All right.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll reveal the brackets after that. So, okay, so yeah, let me just play the first one. And it's for a clip that was in our very first Found Footage Festival back in 2004. And it stars a gentleman I think everyone here will recognize. Hang on.
Not hearing anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hang on. Try share it again.
Everybody's bored right now, Nick.
So sorry. There's a little bit of an intro to both this and the clip it's going up against, so bear with it.
Well, you're ugly. Your ears stick out to get away from your face. Well, your mama is
Hold it, wait a minute. Don't bring anyone mother into this. She ain't here. If it wasn't for your mother, you wouldn't be here. So remember, when you put down one mother, you put down mothers all over the world.
Treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother. So treat her right, treat her right. Mother, there is no other like
They gave her real chocolates.
so treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother, so treat her right, treat her right.
Okay. That is a little bit of Mr. T's mother from the video from, I think, 1984, Mr. T's Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool.
That is a toe tapper all the way. That is such a great song. Toe tap.
Great for Mother's Day. It's kind of a rap, but there's also some singing called Treat Your Mother Right. Next up is a video we discovered I think I discovered this last year. And it's a song that people who watch the show will recognize, but I'd be curious to get first impressions from you, Caitlin. It's called Skateboard Surfing.
Say, listen, we're going to do a little skateboard surfing today. Are you with me? Put everything on. Here we go.
Put everything on.
Out in California where the kids are cool, they got a way to get loose when they get out of school. Skateboard surfing. Skateboard surfing. Tell your ma, tell your pa, skateboard surfing's not against the law. Now remember, when you're out there skateboarding or surfing, cover up everything, wear a helmet, cover your nose, cover your toes, knee pads and elbows. We want you around for a long time. Have fun. Remember, yes, skateboard surfing's not against the law.
Let go of her.
You're hurting me. Okay. Skateboard surfing.
You never really get to see him skateboard surf either. I don't think he's a strong skateboard surfer.
No, he can stand on it, but he certainly can't skateboard.
Yeah.
Do you know who that man is? Why does he sound like William H. Macy?
He's Mickey the Clown from the Bay Area, but I think George found him, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll have him on in the future episode.
Okay.
Oh man, this is a tough one. So I think the way that we do is we go around first, and then Caitlin makes the ultimate decision. So I'll start off by saying I think it's Mr. T's mother. I think that he's just a legend, and him singing. I love his voice. His voice works on that song, and that song pops in my head all the time, more than skateboard surfing does. So Mr. T's mother is my pick.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to skateboard surfing. That one's. The nostalgic favorite is Mr. T, to be sure. It's one of the very first tapes we found at a Blockbuster video bargain bin. But skateboard surfing has been in my head. I just love so many things about it. So skateboard surfing for me.
George?
I like the synthesizer part in the background of the Mr. T song. Skateboard surfing has the classic Wurlitzer organ, the Beach Boys sound. Skateboard surfing wins for me.
Wow. Steve?
I'm going to go with Mr. T's mother. I just, there was something about it. I felt, I don't know, just drawn in on it.
It's heartfelt. Like you feel that song. Skateboard surfing, it's a great song about safety, but at the end of the day, I want a song about my mom. Yep. Kayla, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with Mr. T's mother.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That video just hit me very nostalgically.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go with that.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Mr. T's mother moves on.
Nick, is that an upset for you?
It was for me. I just feel like skateboard surfing is so catchy. It was, to me, that was my Dr. Tammy Bailey, but you know. All right, so this will be interesting. We got another nostalgic favorite coming up. It's
wait. Before we do that, can we hear one more? Can we hear Dr. Tammy one more time? Just another round of Dr. Tammy.
Oh, from the video or from?
No, from Caitlin.
Oh yeah.
Wear it one more time.
A palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Dr. Tammy Bailey, dentistry, making every smile count.
Oh,
yes.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
It's a nice sorbet between courses here.
I agree.
Well, I've been thinking about this song because on Thursday we played footage from a long-running public access show called Stairway to Stardom. It aired in New York City from 1978 to 1992. And this host, this old school nightclub singer, Frank, and his wife, Tilly, they would have on aspiring singers and dancers. And this one comes from Lucille Cataldo, who wrote an original song called Hairdresser. And here's a 1 minute of her song Hairdresser. Hang on, I gotta share it. Here's Hairdresser, and take it away, Lucille.
Hairdresser, hairdresser, whoa, hairdresser, 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 would you set me up, make a little wave or two, make me into something new. Hairdresser, 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 hairdresser,
She's fading herself out.
my hair. Hairdresser, hairdresser. Thank you.
Hi, come here, Lucy.
All right, so that was Hairdresser on Stairway to Stardom, performed by Lucille Cataldo. That is going up against another classic. This is from a montage we put together called Songs That'll Get Stuck in Your Head Forever. Specifically, it comes from a local New York singer called Uncle Moishy, who is a Jewish children's entertainer, and he's performing this with his band, the Mitzvah Men. This is a song about dietary restrictions.
Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Kosher, 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 that's the food for me. Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Breakfast, lunch, and supper, kosher it must be. Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Kosher, 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 that's the food for me. Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Breakfast, lunch, and supper, kosher it must be. Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Kosher, 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 that's the food for me. Kosher it must be.
All right, so those some heavy hitters in that round too.
Nick,
Joe, what do you?
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question? Was Lucille, when she was singing Hairdresser, was she lip syncing that?
No, but she was playing with a backing track of her
Okay,
own.
she had a backing track. Okay, because I was going to say that's automatic disqualification.
Yes, no, I knew that. She was singing along with her own track.
For me, this is a no-brainer. Hairdresser is a great song, and I liked her outfit. It kind of looked like a hefty bag that she was like, yeah.
A tailored hefty bag.
A tailored hefty bag. And, but Kosher, 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 that's just the catchiest song. It's probably top 3 catchiest songs on the planet. So Uncle Moishy for me.
I'm going to go Uncle Moishy as well. I like a lot of it. I like how he's got kosher orange soda and mayonnaise. And there's no, it's only chorus. He just skips the middleman. No middle bars, just chorus. George?
I agree. It's in league with skateboard surfing. I mean, I want to do a medley of the two. That's the clear winner.
Steve?
I gotta go Moishy as well. It's gonna be in my head the rest of the day.
Wow, this could, I mean, Caitlin, this could be huge. If you go Hairdresser, you defy the panel, and that could be huge. What do you think?
Oh, this is the first time that it's not a 50-50 split.
Right.
It's fully unanimous. And I agree with all of you. Well,
yes.
It's a great song. I got to go with my Jews. Every time I eat kosher now, I'm going to be like, kosher, kosher, kosher.
Yes, I do too. Every time I see something that's kosher, I
making
sing
me
that
thirsty
song.
for kosher orange soda right now.
I was going to, okay, kosher times 3. There we go. All right.
Okay, so it's going to be a tough choice here now.
Okay,
Do we need a reminder?
Yeah, why don't we have a reminder? We got Mr. T going up against Kosher, Kosher, Kosher. Wow. Yeah, let's get a reminder.
Okay. Well, we have, I'll just get right into the song here on Mr. T.
Don't bring anyone mother into this. She ain't here. And if it wasn't for your mother, you wouldn't be here. So remember, when you put down one mother, you put down mothers all over the world.
Backing vocals. I mean,
choreograph.
Yeah. short shorts.
Like mother, so treat her right.
Okay. And as a reminder, here's Uncle Moishi in the midst of now.
Kosher, 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 I eat
As if anybody could forget how this song went.
Kosher, kosher, that's the food for me. Kosher, 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 I eat only kosher. Breakfast, lunch, and supper, kosher it must be. Kosher, kosher, kosher.
Okay. So, what do you think?
This is the most difficult decision I've ever made in my lifetime. I'm going to go ahead and say, God, I can't do it. Can somebody else go? I want to hear what other people think.
I'm gonna go Uncle Moishi. I'm ready to convert. That is a great song.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going kosher, kosher, kosher as well. Steve?
I feel someone needs to step in and, for Mr. T. I think I have no problem if Kosher, Kosher, Kosher goes all the way. But Mr. T, that's a great song. Hard work he put into that. He needs a vote. I'm going to give it to him.
I'm with you, Steve. I was leaning towards T. I mean, both are great songs, but T, you got everything there. You got Mr. T, you got the backing vocals, you got the choreography, and it's a catchy tune. And George, like you said, that keyboard, that synth sound is just so cool. So Mr. T for me. Split down the middle, Caitlin.
Oof. I mean, this is a very tough one, but I gotta go with kosher, kosher, kosher.
There we go.
Okay.
Answer.
All right. I would not have predicted that. I really would not have predicted that.
You didn't say that.
I gotta stay with my people, but also I noticed the moment where he saw the box and was like,
Exactly.
that was amazing.
Yeah, his face acting was great.
His face acting. Yes.
Wow. So the kosher, kosher, kosher is in the final four.
There we go. So now we got Kosher, Kosher, Kosher in Spring Mountain.
And then we'll see what George and Steve's leagues, what happens with them.
Yep. All right. Awesome.
Hey, Caitlin, before you go, I wanted to give a quick update on a video that we watched last week in this. I think everybody will recall this classic jingle that didn't win, but
W-E-T-P-E-T-S, Wet Pets and Pablo. Only one place where fish and lizards hang out with cats and chinchillas, kick back with hamsters and dogs, parakeets, rabbits, and scorpions. One stop, one shop, we got it all.
Scorpions, yeah, we got that one.
Scorpions.
So somebody, who was it? I think, Josh Jones, who we saw one of his Plunketts earlier, he pointed out that there's a band called Top Buzzer that did a punk rock cover of Wet Pets. So I thought I'd play a little bit of that. Pretty cool. All right, it's a great, maybe we'll go out on that.
Yes, that's genuinely a great song.
More bands need to do this.
For all the jingles, for all the songs from this tournament, I would love to see them covered by bands. So if you're a band out there, do a cover.
Caitlin, where can people find you again?
I'm on Instagram at the Caitlin Cook. I'm posting a song a day there, and TikTok and Patreon and Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, all the things.
Patreon. What kind of Caitlin are you? Spell your Caitlin, because there's a couple.
Caitlin, the original way.
The original Caitlin.
Yes.
All right. Too cool. Look her up. Super funny. And yeah.
Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks for being our guest judge.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Nice work.
All right. Great.
There we go. Who wants next week?
I'll take it. I'm ready.
Okay. Steve is in the Steve, you do next week so we can do some jingle division, commercial division. Hey, I just want to tell one story before we go.
Okay. Tell us a story quickly.
A story so quickly. It's about a time when Nick and I, this is 11 years ago, Nick and I were on we did a college show in Iowa. I think it was for high schoolers in a camp. Do you remember this, Nick? And
yeah, I can't see your screen though. It's
you can't see it?
It's just blank for some reason.
Oh, okay. There we go. Can you see it now?
Yes, I remember this. Yeah.
Okay, so we went to a Come and Go. There's a gas station chain there called Come and Go, and Nick and I, we went in there and probably took some pictures of ourselves, like holding up funny hats and stuff. But my first thing whenever I go into a gas station is I go straight to the hot dog station because, you know, I got my bit where I take the hot dog off the roller and I put it into my friend's pockets. And
happened to Steve.
Yeah.
Happened to all of us.
Yeah. Did I ever get you, Nick?
Yeah, early on in my hoodie. It was in the hood of my hoodie.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I went over there. While I was over there, I noticed this sign up there, like a wanted sign. And it says, I'll just zoom in here. You can see they printed this out. It says, do you know this guy? He takes hot dogs. And then in parentheses, they wrote hot dog. And so I had the idea. I went back out in the car and I grabbed a pen and paper and I wrote a note and I folded it. And on the front, I put, if found, please give this note to the manager on duty. And I took this note and I hid it behind like some chicken and a biscuits, you know, or a little fiddle faddle or whatever they have in like the grocery aisle.
Dusty fiddle faddle.
Yeah, because it takes a little while for them to find those. So, and then on the inside, I wrote this. I said, I know who took the hot dog. Meet me in the park at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. No cops, no funny stuff. D. And so I never got it. So I did that, and then, but it's one of those like jokes where you don't get the resolution, you don't get the payoff.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those, the ones that we do at gas stations and things, we never get the pleasure of seeing the payoff.
There's no payoff. But I did look up on the photo. You can tell where you shot the photo. It's Lamoni, Iowa.
Yeah.
And it's the come and go, and I found their phone number. Should I call them and see if they ever found the hot dog thief?
Yeah, because that would have been, what, like 10 years ago? Or
Yeah. No, this is 2009. Is when
2009, okay.
Yeah, so this is 11 years ago.
11 years
probably
ago.
almost to the day. So I'm going to call them in Lamoni, Iowa.
I mean, imagine a gas station called Come and Go gets a lot of prank calls already, so they're probably, this is nothing new for them.
Well, this is a prank call that I
know.
want to genuinely know. Okay.
Yes, we did. His name was David Stevens. Have a good one.
Thank you for calling Come and Go. This is Jamie. How can I help you?
Hey, I have a quick question for you. My name is Joe. I'm calling from VCR Party. Actually, this is Quarantine Classics. But so 11 years ago, my buddy Nick and I were doing a found footage show where we find VHS tapes at thrift stores and garage sales, not looking so much for movies, we're more looking for like exercise videos, stuff like that. And we went into your gas station and there was a sign there with a guy, with a picture of a guy from a surveillance camera where it said that he stole hot dogs. And it said, do you know this guy? He steals hot dogs. And I'm wondering, I don't know if you were there 11 years ago, but do you know if the guy ever got, if they ever found out the hot dog thief?
I don't know.
No? Huh. Does anybody there know?
Manager? Yeah.
I doubt it.
Hmm.
There's only me and one other person here, and they don't know anything about it.
Oh, they don't know? Did they hear my question?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay. Is hot dog thievery, is that a common thing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So, but this guy must have stolen a lot of hot dogs then.
Probably.
Okay, enough to like warrant printing out the sign and putting up, hot dogs. Oh, do you know why hot dogs was put in parentheses?
Give me just a second, hon. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, I have actual work to do.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, okay, cool. I guess that's it. Did you guys have any questions?
Nope, just we'll be right back right after that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
I like when you said, do you guys have any questions? She goes, nope. She thought you were asking them if they had any questions for you.
Yeah, why would you assume there's 4 people just sitting around?
Oh, boy.
We'll have to stop by in person and get to the bottom of that.
Unsolved mysteries on that one.
I want answers. I have a good quick story to tell next week that involves me, Joe, and Steve. And if we ever go on tour again, George, I know you don't like to leave the house, but you should really come on one of these tours.
We have fun.
Yeah.
I'm so terrified to be in any vulnerable position near Joe. Maybe I'll be in like a different car.
Oh yeah. All of Joe's friends live in perpetual terror of what he's going to do while you're vulnerable.
Friend, you're entertained. I'm a friend.
Steve, do you have any reports, or George, from the Melindaverse? That's our Facebook group where people, just a group of people who watch the show and talk to each other.
I'd like to show this of Reese, if that's okay. Reese had this for you, Nick. You told
Okay.
the story about being rubbish boy.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this.
This is Reese from Australia.
Yes.
Oh, rubbish boy! Rubbish boy, come collect my rubbish! Oh, rubbish boy!
Anyhow, he wanted to see what your reaction would be, so he asked me to play that.
It's exactly how she sounded. She was an old Victorian lady.
I want to hear it one more time. Can we hear it again?
Hold on.
Be a good ringtone for me. It's Reese calling. Hang on, I got to get this. Oh, rubbish boy. Yeah.
We don't have to play it again, George. People can rewind it and let's. Okay, all right, here we go.
Oh, rubbish boy! Rubbish boy, come collect my rubbish! Oh, rubbish boy!
I am not the rubbish boy. I will not collect your rubbish.
But you did collect her rubbish. You probably walked back with your tail between your legs.
I did.
And
but I'm a rubbish man now. I don't stand for that kind of thing anymore.
Oh, I still think you got to get that tat. Rubbish boy or rubbish man. Maybe that's what it is. Rubbish man.
Neck tat.
Yeah.
And it's like the sign from Green Spire Apartments.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Is George playing it back, or do you want me to go to mine? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let me know if you guys can see it. So people are talking on the boards. This is a little bit old, but I'm going to bring it back up. Did anyone notice Joe's cleanly shaven pits? And
my mom also brought that up.
I feel like I've addressed this before. But what Zach Champagne said, now who's the sexual man? Hawkins said no. Michael G said, didn't he say he has no pit hair? Okay, so I did. Right. I must have brought that up. Michael G remembered.
Eagle-eyed viewers will remember that.
George, did you know I didn't have any pit hair?
Only from you mentioning it previously.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I used to be ashamed of it. Like in high school, I remember I coached the Little League team. And I remember, it was a bunch of like 5th and 6th graders. And I remember wearing a shirt like that at the baseball practice and like raising my hands. I would never like raise my arms up too high because I didn't want people to see. But I remember there being a 5th grader with hairier armpits than I had. And I just felt like less of a man all through like high school and everything. But now I've embraced it. And here's the upside of the whole thing is there's no smell. Well, for a long time, there was no smell. For most of my life, there was no smell because I didn't have any hair in there. So I didn't even wear deodorant. Because I didn't really get deodorant. Like, why do people wear deodorant? There's no smell. Have I ever mentioned this before, Nick? Last couple years,
eagle-eyed viewers will remember that you mentioned this.
Eagle-nosed viewers would remember.
Michael G, just chime in here, but yeah, you did mention that a time you noticed your armpits started smelling.
I was in an airplane one time, and I was like, "Oh man, somebody stinks! I smell body odor." And then I went down. And I was like, "It's me, and it was like actually a great day because I felt like a human. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh, this is this thing that everybody experiences is smelly pits. And now I'm one of them. And so that was a huge day for me. So now my armpits smell and I'm still, you can see, I'll just see. Do you see anything?
No.
There's nothing. I don't shave them or anything. But look at my chest.
You don't have your Lady Remington out and
no. There's some wisps in there.
Gel, yeah.
But I do wear deodorant now because they smell now. So
interesting. Anything else, Steve?
A couple more. This one is a meme that somebody made. It might have been Michael G as well.
Yes.
And it's it's for Overlord. This is George's band.
Nice. Look at that record back there of all the Georges singing the.
I loved it. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
That's actually
the VCR Party Live.
Yes, that's going to be the cover of the. I mentioned that I'm putting the VCR Party Live theme on Spotify in the next couple weeks, so I'm going to use that as the picture. Not the Clinton one, the clip from.
You should make a single of that. Well, and on the back have the remix.
We still have to put together the VCR Party album because we have so much music. The New Age Miracles remixes. We have the songs. Yeah. There's so much music that's come out of the show. We should come out. Or can you just put stuff up on Spotify?
I'm pretty sure those things would get taken down pretty quickly. The things the remixes.
Yeah.
We can host them, and then if you're a patron at the $5 and up level, we'll release the album that way.
Yeah.
And then there's just one more from the Melindaverse that I want to do. Someone says, I'm all in on the Horsehead bus by George. George told a story in a previous quarantine classic about mistaking. He thought people were wearing horse heads, but they were actually horses. But Josh Jones wants to make this happen. He'll even give money to create this bus.
So Josh Jones. Oh, whoa.
And so Dustin came through with a photo to give an idea of what it would look like.
Organize this thing, George. This is all you.
I'm terrified it will end in like a crash on the turnpike and me standing amongst the bodies of friends and Melinda's saying, this is what my nightmare was all about.
You'll make the news. You'll get on the news.
Oh, then sure. Let's do it.
Here's the thing. If the pandemic ever ends and it's safe to go outside again, I think people were talking about actually renting a bus to go to our next open house, and they would show up wearing the horse heads. And I just think the important part is that you drive wherever the open house starts. It doesn't matter. You have to drive at 3 a.m. on the New Jersey Turnpike to get here, get a hotel, and then sleep, and then come and show up in it.
Can we live stream it?
Absolutely. I would like to see that happen. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's like Falling Around the Grateful Dead, but they're all wearing horse heads. Any other reports, or is that it?
That's it for today.
All right.
That's all I got.
That's all for me. Tuesday is going to be a big episode. I've got some great new videos we're going to show off. And just a reminder that it's before it's too late, register at foundfootagefest.com for our big bad webinar. Exciting stuff planned. And that's it. We'll see you Tuesday.
That's all. That's it. If we had been prepared, we could have done better.
And we'll be right back right after that.
Steve?
You're muted.
Steve, you're muted. Oh,
Dang it. Rocks are done. Gotta sleep. Gotta go. I messed it up. I'll get it next week.
Till we meet again, I'd just like to remind you to say yes to doing your best and keep cheering.
There we go.